if you're thinking about starting a business, and we certainly hope you are, an individual who has some great thoughts, some great ideas, an individual who I've been very fortunate enough to meet, spent 2.5 days with him in his dreaming room. A gentleman by the name of Michael Gerber. There's a picture of Michael and myself in the dreaming room. Michael's very famous for dressing in his white suit and white hat. He does change his tie, but he is often seen in his white suit and white hat. I guess symbolic of dream and dreaming. 25 years ago, Michael wrote a book called The E-Myth, and The E-Myth Revisited. I got a copy of the book. Actually, one of the things I think I'm going to do, not today, because it'll take me some time to set up. I've got an audio tape of the E-Myth, and I think we'll listen to Michael in his own voice. Surely will to talk about it, and then I'll make some commentary about it. On the back of this tape it says, in this compact disc edition of the totally revised underground bestseller, The E-Myth, Michael Gerber dispels the myths surrounding starting your own business and shows how commonplace assumptions can get in the way of running a business. He walks you through the steps in the life of a business, from entrepreneurial infancy through adolescent growing pains to the mature entrepreneurial perspective. Michael's premise is that people start businesses for the wrong reason. They start business because they have some knowledge and passion and understanding of something, and they want to tell the world about it, and tell the world how great it is, which indeed are things that need to be done. But what he says that what people forget as they're starting their business is really the concept of business. They forget that business, well, you need to generate a profit in your business, but Michael's contention is that most entrepreneurs, and I'm not sure most, maybe, they will start their business with an idea, having no idea whatsoever how to run a business. He was the first one to coin the expression, and everybody, many people have said it since, and he was the first to say that we spend too much time in our business and not on our business. The reason being that we don't have the systems or processes in place that make our businesses run. And you must have that system in place and those processes so that you're not constantly fixing things or constantly putting out fires, that you have a system that works, and it works if you, the entrepreneur, steps away from that system. It's still going to work because it's the right system. He tells the story that he got this epiphany about things when he walked into a McDonald's one time. I don't think he necessarily walked in to eat, but he walked in to study the systems that Ray Kroc had put in place to ensure that when you walk into a McDonald's, good, bad, or indifferent, the hamburgers you ate, the French fries that you ate would be the same, no matter what McDonald's you walked into. It was about quality, and you had to have that consistent quality, be it good quality or bad quality, depending upon your perspective, about that hamburger, about those French fries. It's the system that drove it. The people in the system did certain things, the entrepreneur had to step away from the system. They had to make sure that there was enhancements to the system. So they worked on their business to continue to make it grow, to continue to improve, while the basic business still ran as it was supposed to run. That's his basic concept, and it's a myth, he says, about starting a business. I think Michael would agree that it doesn't happen until it starts, and you need to be able to build the system. Absolutely. I wasn't as productive as I am now until I really took to heart his message, and I started building a system and saying, this is how it works, and this is what you do. And you could step away from doing that. Somebody could step in and do it for you. That's how businesses grow, when the entrepreneur can step away and somebody can do the things that need to get done so that business grows. It sustains itself and it grows. So, the book, E-Myth, Why Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It. Michael wrote this book, released it just a couple months ago, and he did something very different. On the 25th anniversary of the book, he decided that he was only going to print 5,000 copies. And his books have been read by millions of people around the world, just like Brian Tracy. But he decided on this book, the 25th anniversary, he was only going to print 5,000 copies. And I am very fortunate that he signed my copy of the book, copy number 57. So as soon as I learned that Michael was going to write the book and publish it, I immediately dropped what I was doing to order the book to make sure that I was going to get one of the 5,000. And I did it early enough. Believe it or not, I actually paid $100 for this book, which, because I know Michael, because I've met Michael, because Michael actually helped me in my business. If you've been following me on Stickam for any length of time, when I launched smallbusinesstv.com, which I launched on Stickam, all I did on the TV was I recorded live in Stickam and then recorded it, and it went on to an ongoing media player, so that anytime you visited our Small Business TV, you would see a constant flow of the information of the shows that I had done at Stickam. We're doing essentially the same concept today, but we're on Stickam, but we're recording majorly for YouTube, and not to keep it internal. We're taking it outside and creating this vast YouTube library of small business information. Reading from the book. Reading from page 'I want to read from Michael's introduction, and that's all we're going to really read today. Just about 3 pages, because it really gives the essence of what the book is all about, and then we'll go on and discuss it in greater detail at a later time. If you own a business, or even if you want to own a business, this book was written for you. I'm reading from Roman numeral 17, Michael's introduction, the E-Myth, why most businesses don't work and what to do about it. Michael Gerber. It represents thousands of hours of work we've done in thousands of small businesses over the past 25 years. It illustrates a belief created and supported by the experiences of the countless people with whom we've worked, that businesses in this country simply do not work. This is what Michael is saying. That's not because people who own and operate businesses don't work. They do. They work for more than they should for the return they're getting. The problem is that they're doing the wrong work. As a result, their businesses end up in chaos, unmanageable, unpredictable, unrewarding. And then he says, let's just look at the numbers. Businesses start and fail in the United States at an increasing, staggering rate. Every year, over 5,000 people start a business of some sort. That number is still, it's kind of the magic number, at least 500,000 businesses every year. I'll tell you, though, in the next 12 months, we must start more than 500,000 businesses if we are going to get back to some kind of sense of normalcy, because our economy needs 300,000 new jobs created every month. 300,000 new jobs. And for the last 28 months, 29 months, we've only created half that many jobs every month. So we're only halfway there. So we're going to need 500,000 businesses at least to get started to employ the number of people, to create the number of new jobs that we need in this country. Start your business today. Create job number one. And as your business grows, you step away to work on your business instead of in your business. You will create new jobs for other people. That's how you're going to grow. Okay, he says by the end of the first year of business, at least 40% will be out of business. I don't know if that's the case. And in 5 years, more than 80% of those businesses that started will have failed. I don't like to use the word failure, although he does quote the Department of Commerce. Instead of saying failing, I say they weren't successful. There's no failure if you try. You might not succeed what it is that you want to do, but you haven't failed. Maybe it was the wrong idea. Maybe you were targeting the wrong people. Maybe you underestimated. Maybe you didn't have enough money to take the business where it needed to go to realize the goals and objectives that you needed to realize, that you need to realize. A lot of things that could happen along the way, but you tried. We've all had business failures and such, and that only means we haven't attained the goals that we set out to attain, to reach. If you're doing the right thing, you'll make mistakes, you'll correct them, and you'll move on, and you'll grow your business. And most important to have goals and objectives as you start your business. Most important. Okay, idea number one. This book answers the question, why is it? Why do people fail? Why do so many people go into business? And I'm quoting Michael again. Go into business only to fail. What lessons aren't they learning? Why is it that with all the information on how to be successful in business, so few people really are? I suppose, too, it depends on your definition of success. This book answers those questions. It's about 4 profound ideas which, if you understand and take them to heart, will give you the power to create an extraordinarily successful business. Ignore them, and you will likely join the 200,000 people a year who pour their energy and capital into starting a business and fail. Okay, idea number 1. There's 4 ideas Michael has. Idea number 1. There is a myth in this country, the E-myth, Michael calls it. He is the originator of the E-myth, often copied, which says that businesses are started by entrepreneurs risking capital to make a profit. This simply is not so. The real reasons people start businesses have little to do with entrepreneurship. But belief in the entrepreneurial myth is the most important factor in the devastating rate of business failures in America today. Understanding the myth and applying that understanding can be the secret to any business's success. Idea number 2. There's a revolution going on today in American business. Michael calls it the turnkey revolution. I call it the not so much a revolution as there is the need for small business collaboration. Michael and I have never had that discussion. Maybe someday soon I'll be able to have that with him. Not only is it changing the way we do business in this country, this turnkey revolution. Actually, there's a footnote. Let me read the footnote. The turnkey revolution began in 1952 when Ray Kroc discovered the first McDonald's and came up with the idea to license the system over and over to franchisees. Remember I talked about that. Idea number 3. At the heart of the turnkey revolution is a dynamic process called business development. This process, which I call the entrepreneurial development process, or EDP, when it is systemized and applied purposely by a business owner, is one of the foundations of every great company. Systemization. Keep that in mind if you want your company to thrive and grow and create lots of new jobs. That may or may not be your goal. I'll stop for a moment. That was my goal for a while back when I actually started from scratch. Well, I shouldn't say that. My first major starting a business from scratch was in 1978. I invested $10,000 of my own money. I was able to get a bank to loan me the other $10,000 that I needed, and I started the business. I needed 15 people in that business to grow it, to do it, to manage it, to make it happen. 15 people. I wasn't enjoying the process along the way. But that's what it took. And we were successful. In the 11th month of the business, we made a profit in the 11th month. Unheard of in business in general, and definitely unheard of in the publishing business. That was the industry. We were publishing a magazine. EDP, but we did develop a system that was starting to work, but I let the system kind of go by the wayside. When a company incorporates this process into every activity and uses it to control its destiny, that company stays young and thrives. When a company ignores this process, as most do, it commits itself to management by luck, not business development. It stagnates and it fails. And the 4th idea that Michael talks about, and we will conclude this part of the discussion with this 4th idea. The entrepreneur development process, as Michael calls it, EDP, can be systematically, emphasis on the word systematically, applied by any business owner in a step-by-step method that incorporates the lessons of the turnkey revolution to the operation of his or her business. It then becomes a predictable way to produce success in any business that's willing to give it the time and attention it needs to flourish. Okay, that's the beginning discussion of the E-Myth, why most businesses don't work and what to do about it. Side by side with that discussion, I want to talk about Michael Gerber's the most successful small business in the world. He has 10 principles. We're not going to go into the 10. I'll quickly mention the 10 principles, and we will discuss them at a future date. And I will leave you with the one that is most impactful to me. No, we aren't going to go through all 10 right now. I thought he had them listed, but he just listed 1, 2. The principle that I will share with you is the first principle, because it's the one that has impacted my thinking most in the development of David's Barter community and the future growth and development of where our community is going. It's called the first principle: a small business built rightly, can grow 10,000 times its current size. It is amazing to me, after I read that chapter, I read it 2 years ago, I was very fortunate that the timing of Michael coming out with his book 2 years ago is the exact same time as I launched oursmallbusinesstv.com, and Michael was my very first show, my very first guest, and it happened on New Year's Eve 2 years ago. It will be 3 years this coming New Year's Eve. Over 3 years, it'll be 3 years this coming New Year's Eve that I had that discussion with Michael, so his book is 3 years old, about the 10 principles, and we talked about the rule of 10,000, and because it fascinated me, just why 10,000? How did he pick it? What was his thoughts? What was his ideas? And I explored that with him, and then it became a part of my thinking. 10,000. Our community will grow. Our first level will be to 10,000 members. Those 10,000 members will have 10,000 very optimized, very Googleized landing pages. That landing page will be their start of a business, or it will be the creation of a new revenue stream for an existing business. One of those two things will happen. And side by side with that idea is that the SmallBizDavid Foundation is seeking 10,000 mentors of entrepreneurship. A mentor of entrepreneurship in our country, and there will be 10 in our company, our community. There will be 10,000 of them, and they will learn the ways of the community. They will have priority status. They will have access to me, and the very most important parts of our system, our process of how we do things. They will do it for themselves. They will create this new business for themselves. And then a mentor of entrepreneurship will be someone who's already in business or out of business because they were in business. And they will be people who know the ways of business. They will learn how a landing page is optimized and how to continue that optimization process. They'll do it for themselves. They'll create cash flow for themselves. Then they'll teach other entrepreneurs, maybe like yourself, who have not yet started a business. And they will teach them the ways of the community on a one-to-one basis, as well as the ways of entrepreneurship. What did they do to be successful that allowed them to do whatever it was for 20 years or 30 years or 40 years if you're really blessed? What are those things that were done? What can you share with someone who wants to start a business and has never done it before? So 10,000 businesses will be started in David's Barter community, either by mentors of entrepreneurship or by entrepreneurs who never started a business, and these mentors will teach them the ways. So if you want to start a business and you want to be included in the 10,000, or if you want to be a mentor or know somebody who wants to start a business or be a mentor, please tell them about David's Barter community. Come register, create your own community marketing profile, complimentary, no charge to you. That's how the members of the community will communicate with one another through this community marketing profile, using keywords, small business keywords to describe what it is you do or who you are. You can take either approach, but you need to use small business keywords that when somebody puts those keywords into a search engine that will be on every landing page there is in the community, will have a search engine, then you will be able to find your way to those keywords, either a person or those keywords are discussed in a blog, in an article, in a video, whatever. That's going to be it for today. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to share it with us. That you have many choices of what you can do with your time, and I am grateful and honored that you have taken your time to share it in the community. And my hope is that you're able to take at least one good idea away every time that you come into the community. That will be a great place for you to spend time. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live at stickham.com, with recordings being done at YouTube. So visit youtube.com/SmallBizDavid. Over 300 YouTubes on small business, about starting a business, different aspects of marketing, what have you. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.